Hello, I'm Byron Hynes. In this video presentation, we're going to take an overview of OpenStack. We'll take a look at some of the basics of what OpenStack is and how you might be able to use it. We're going to begin, in fact, with talking about exactly what is OpenStack, and then we'll look at some of the origins of where the project came from, and we'll talk briefly about some of the programming languages that it's based on. So what is OpenStack? Well, OpenStack is a cloud computing platform. Now, most of us are used to using the cloud in our everyday life. We may go out to a cloud-provided service like an email system, or we may be part of a business that is hosting various parts of our infrastructure or various parts of our platform in public clouds. We may be even developing our own private clouds. Well, there's an interesting idea. How do you develop your own private cloud? Several different vendors have different tools and offerings to be able to do that. But if you want to build out your own cloud, and you want to build it on your own hardware, how do you get there and how do you make that happen? Well, OpenStack is a software stack, as the name would suggest. That is, a set of tools that can be used to build out a cloud. Some very large public clouds and some very large businesses are run on OpenStack. Primarily, OpenStack is used to develop an infrastructure as a service solution. That is, to take an entire infrastructure, networking, hosts, the whole bit, and put it into a cloud-based system. One of the big benefits of OpenStack is that it's free. Now, free doesn't mean there's no cost of ownership. Free doesn't mean it just falls into place and poof, it's there. But you can, in fact, download the software, install it on your own hardware without paying anybody a single penny or other currency of your choice. But in many cases, you're going to want to purchase either services or hosting or platform or infrastructure hosted by someone else built on OpenStack. So it's often resold. There's a number of companies that will offer services or management of OpenStack to you for a fee. But OpenStack is an open source project, which means it can be acquired at no cash outlay for the project, and it can also be modified or amended or contributed to by a large number of people, including yourself. So where did OpenStack come from? What kind of origins does it have? Well, it's a very new product. It's less than 5 years old. It started in 2010, and it's taken off pretty well. It's kind of stormed into the scene and become a very popular cloud project. Originally, it was launched by NASA and Rackspace. NASA had a product or a platform called Nebula, and Rackspace had another platform for cloud files, and these two came together and became the OpenStack project. In 2011, Ubuntu and Canonical offered support, then came Debian, then came Red Hat, and by 2012, pretty much all of the major Linux providers or Linux distros were represented. NASA left active development in 2013, but by that point, other companies, including Avaya, HP, IBM, and others, have either announced or introduced OpenStack offerings or contributed to the OpenStack platform. In fact, many contributions still, some of the largest contributors are Red Hat and IBM. Now, it's now managed by the OpenStack Foundation, so it's become its own thing. It has a foundation that manages and has rules about how it's set up. Now, some people are interested in knowing what languages it's based on and how OpenStack is put together. Now, that's not as important as it might first seem, but primarily it uses Python, and it's licensed under the Apache v2 licensing model. Now, this has often been referred to as an incredibly developer-friendly set of tools and languages that in turn has allowed for thousands of individual contributors, both corporate and individual, making contributions back to the common OpenStack repositories. You can also customize OpenStack just for your own use, but you do have to follow the rules of the licensing agreement, but a lot of people are contributing back into the main pool. But it's important to note that as an infrastructure service, it doesn't matter really to most people what it's built on. Now, if you're wanting to customize it, if you're wanting to be a developer who contributes back to the OpenStack project, then obviously it matters. But if you're just looking to develop a cloud, if you're just looking to launch your own infrastructure, or you want to have another way to virtualize, then it doesn't matter to you. You can run Unix, you can run Linux, you can run Microsoft products. It all depends on what you're running on top of OpenStack. This is how you're going to use it. But it is based in Python and licensed under the Apache model.